Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 29. And this is Poetry Flip number 7, and the title is Urban Renewal on Display. So, this particular poem I wrote back in October of 2023. And this poem I wrote, it was in response to one of my fellow bloggers' picture prompt. And I'll give you a brief description of the actual image. So, the image is a construction site, and you can see the barbed wire in the foreground of the picture, with a lot of demolished bricks and debris. And you can see a partially demolished building in the front of the picture, but right behind it, you see some shiny new high rise skyscraper buildings, and they look all nice and shiny and tall and new. But in the foreground is where you see what once was there, which was, of course, the brick building, and they're tearing that down to put up some new shiny buildings. And that is a part of what gentrification does. It's like you're tearing down what once was, and now you want to put up something new and shiny. But in the process of all this, who hurts the most? It's usually families who have made a living. They've lived in their homes for decades and they're being forced out. Where are they supposed to go? Is anyone helping them to find another place? And the sad thing, too, is that a lot of these people, they've lived in their homes for decades, and it's like now you have to go. And they've built community there. They know their neighbor across the street and 2 blocks over. And, maybe they don't have anywhere to go. And also, it puts a great financial burden on people just to have to be out because they want to put in a shopping mall or some other kind of business. So that's kind of what this poem is about. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the poem. And then when I'm done, I want you to share, like, subscribe, and leave a comment about something. If you've experienced something similar, how it affected you, or if you know someone, and what the outcome of that was. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this, and I welcome comments. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you agree, if you disagree, or if there's another angle that I've not considered and overlooked. So you let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this one is Urban Renewal on Display. Urban renewal on display. Brick and mortar decay. Shiny material erected. Up, up, and away. Brick and mortar are sturdy, capable of withstanding winds, hurricanes, and the dirty, all except rebranding. Shiny material being built up, adjacent to brick foundations. Once thriving, now obscure. Real estate moguls on the come up. Concrete jungles disappearing, new structures engineering, urban renewal on display, scores of people and their lives astray. Working people, families now dispersed, throughout the city worries mount. On deaf ears their cries fall unrehearsed. The times this has happened, too many to count. Real estate moguls, investors and the like, patting their pockets and feeling delight. Meanwhile, everyday people are being discarded like old shoes when they should be safeguarded. The same people running the ship, keeping the business afloat, while you sit back on your yacht or big boat. So who is displaying true stewardship? Poem. So that's urban renewal on display. And like I said, people that are just sitting back, they're rich, they're real estate moguls or big corporations, and they just want to tear things down and build something else. And the thing is, it's kind of, on the one hand, if you are in a neighborhood that may be older, it's kind of run down, it looks dilapidated. It just has not been kept up well, and you want to kind of, you know, build something new and make it look more modern, or just for the sake of aesthetics. You just want it to look newer and shiny. Sure, that's great. I understand. Because also, it may also not even be a neighborhood where there are actual people still living there. Now, if these properties that they're tearing down, these buildings and everything, and these homes, if they're empty, okay, sure, knock yourself out. But what I'm talking about is when there are people who, like I said, they've built a life, they've lived there forever and ever, they love the neighborhood, and now they're being forced out. And why? For what reason is it happening? So I just want you to kind of think about that, because I mean, I know it's not going to stop because it's been going on for so many years. And I feel like it's not about the people anymore. It's more about the money. It's more about the money. People want to pad their pockets. It's just business for them, regardless if people live there or not. But it's just terrible because, like I said, some people, they don't have anywhere to go. They might not have the financial means to just get up and move like that. And what happens to them? Nobody thinks about that. No one cares. That's the sad part about it. That is what I don't like about it. Like I said, it's all cool if you want to revitalize an area, sure. But if it's places where people live, if they're occupied places that you're trying to tear down, just try and think about that. That's all I'm saying. Just think about that. But in America, sometimes it's just all about the money and the corporations. It's not about the people anymore. Well, anyway, I would like for you to please share your thoughts. Let me know. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is episode 29, and this is Poetry Flip number 7. And the title is Urban Renewal on Display. And you can hear this episode and all episodes on the Podbean app, on YouTube, and Spotify. Until next time, stay well and be blessed.